Wow. They weren't lying when they said unexpected. We all thought this was gonna be Galactus versus Unicron, or another big legacy match, but nope. Saitama versus Popeye, of all things. Oh my god. Okay, let's just rip this band-aid off as soon as possible. Saitama's losing. There's no way he's getting around Popeye's Toon Force. Or just sheer strength. Seriously, this dude is... Popeye is actually kind of unbelievable. Now, depending on what you believe, Popeye could either be a star-level character or a universe-level character. He has his feats, his big feat that they're probably going to focus on is him punching Bluto so hard he destroyed an entire constellation, which caps out at, like, I think dwarf star level. Yeah, Saitama's strongest attack is more planet level, or small planet level. It depends. In the original manga, Boros says his collapsing star cannon is powerful enough to wipe out the entire surface of the planet, which means, like, the entire crust of the Earth. And that caps out at small planet level. But in the dub version of the anime, he just says planet, so it could just be interpreted as planet level. Either way, Saitama is he's not strong enough. He is faster, though. Saitama can move faster than light, and Popeye's best speed feat put him at, like, relativistic plus. So it's close, but Saitama edges out in speed. Yeah, that's basically the gist of this. I figured I might want to go into stuff I want from this episode. So, for starters, don't have Saitama say, "I've lost," or anything like that. That was my big problem. That was one of my big problems with the cartoon fight club between Saitama and Popeye. Saitama at the end, when he loses, he just says, "I've lost." Saitama wouldn't say that. In fact, he'd be proud that he lost. He would be happy because he found someone stronger than him. He can find someone who can actually give him that challenge. And also, the animation style, this is a little tricky. Now, personally, I think if you want to do sprite animation for both these characters, I think the best style would be to go for the style that Wally versus Sonic went with. As much as I don't like that episode, and anyone who follows me on Twitter knows that I don't like that episode, I still think that the sprite work in that episode was really, really good. And the custom sprites they used were also really, really good. And the sprites used in the 1 Minute Melee, both Saitama's 1 Minute Melee episodes between Goku and Superman, were also really, really good. It's just, puppet rigs for Saitama, I don't know about you, but I don't really think it would work for me. It wouldn't even work for Popeye. I mean, they could go, like, a complete 180 and do, like, a hand-drawn animation like what they did with Samurai Jack and Afro Samurai. That'd be awesome, by the way. I would love that. And yeah. As for the analysis, specifically the cutaway gags, I think one of the cutaway gags that I want is Wiz eating a can of spinach. Like, Wiz says something, Boomstick laughs at him for saying that thing. Wiz eats a can of spinach and just punches Boomstick in the face. That would be funny. It would be nice to see, or Boomstick could do it, but to Dummy, because we haven't seen Dummy a lot this season, actually. It's kind of sad. But, yeah. Other than that, I really don't know what to say more about this. It's pretty simplistic. Popeye's gonna win. Can't believe it's already been a season. It does not feel like it's been a year. Oh well, we'll have to see what's in store for us after the finale, which I'm actually really hyped for, by the way. I'm kind of glad it isn't Galactus versus Unicron, because my only connection to that matchup is what I've heard from other people talking about it. Most of my connection with this matchup comes from me watching One Punch Man a lot. I love One Punch Man. I don't like the fandom and how they say that Saitama could just beat everyone because he's One Punch Man or he's a gag character. That's stupid. And watching Popeye on holiday, I think one time I went to Thailand, and in the hotel there they had like all hotels have TV there, but most of the time on the TV they would show Popeye, and I'd watch it and I'd love it. I love Popeye. My dad might not like Popeye, but I do. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. Popeye's gonna win. And have the track end with Popeye's theme when he eats a can of spinach. Although I guess don't do that actually, because then it would spoil it for everyone. Or just release the episode first, then release the track. Just make the track good. One Punch Man is one of the best soundtracks in anime, period. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. Now I'm on to Madara vs. Aizen. The review, of course. I want to start out by saying that I think that this episode is wrong. If you want to know why, you can read these comments by the people on the Rooster Teeth site, and that's why. That doesn't mean I think this episode is bad. Far from it. There are a few issues. Madara's analysis has the gender reveal party joke, and that's just... no. It comes off as cringe, and I don't like it. I'm sure there's someone who found it funny, but I don't like it. The cutaway gag, however, is actually kind of funny. I like Wiz slowly going insane over Naruto, and then Boomstick at the end being like, "Look what you did to him." It's honestly funny. I love it. As well as Boomstick shipping Madara and his friend. I don't know his name. I often forget people's names. I'm bad with names, okay? So, Aizen's analysis, well, I can't remember the cutaway. It was fine, but I just can't remember a lot about it. So, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. And then the fight starts. Now, it does start a little bit janky. Aizen taking out a sword and flicking off his hair or flicking off his glasses and slicking back his hair looks really janky, as well as the first few attacks. And the beginning isn't really that good in my opinion. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not very interesting. But it gets much better when Aizen goes into his first form. The intense combat in this fight was just really good. And I love the dialogue as well. The voice actors do a really good job, especially Nicholas. I keep forgetting his last name. Hold on a minute. You can tell I'm a very good... Nicholas Andrew Louis. There we go. I'm sorry if I'm sorry I forgot your name. If he's watching this, if you're watching this, Nicholas, I'm sorry I forgot your name. I'm bad with names, okay? But Nicholas Andrew Louis does a fantastic job as Madara, and I don't know who does the voice for Aizen, but he also does a really good job. Also, the hand-drawn stuff, when it's first shown when Madara goes into his super form. I don't know what it's called. But the hand-drawn stuff is legitimately amazing in this episode. I like the scene where they both laugh as well. Just shows that, like Wiz, they're both going insane as the fight goes on. And the death is fine. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit boring, but it's a lot better than what we got this season, I'll give you that. A lot of the deaths this season were just disintegration deaths. Like, out of, like, the entire season, I guarantee I could name all the disintegration deaths. So, first off, we had Shadow versus Ryuko. Or, technically, it was Yoda versus King Mickey, but we don't really see... Yeah, no, it was Yoda versus King Mickey. Then Shadow versus Ryuko. Then Lex versus Doom actually had a different death. And it was pretty good. I liked that death. Blake versus Mikasa, that had an explosion death, but I'm going to count that because there was nothing left of Mikasa, not even like a corpse or anything. Steven versus Star also had his disintegration death. Oh, and so did Poe versus Iron Fist. As much as I love that episode, everyone knows that it's in like my top 10 favorite episodes. The death was boring. And then Poe's like, wow, that was so cool. Can't wait to tell Master Shifu I murdered a man. Was just completely out of character. Ling versus Cloud had a different death. And it was pretty good as well. Iron Man versus Batman had an explosion death, but I'm counting that as a disintegration death, even though we have a skeleton left. So I guess I don't count it then. Reverse Flash versus Goku Black, or Goku Black versus Reverse Flash, had the Reverse Flash. I think it had the best death this season. Well, to be fair, we haven't seen Saitama versus Popeye yet, so that could have a better death, but I guarantee it would magnitude to Popeye punching Saitama so hard he either A, explodes, B, gets sent into space and then into the sun, or C, something creative to do with Popeye's Toon Force. Maybe he hits Saitama so hard into the sun that he gives the sun a black eye or something. That'd be funny. Where was I? Oh yeah, Reverse Flash versus Goku Black. I think that had the best death. Dio versus Alucard. That also had a really good death. Oh, and Macho Man versus Randy Savage. Not a fan of it, personally, but it was still pretty good. The blah at the end isn't cool. I don't like it. It was not funny. Then, man. Oh yeah, Akuma versus Shao Kahn. I totally forgot that one exists. Man, I really try to give that one a good time. Well, I try to give it the benefit of the doubt. I regret a lot of things I've done in my videos, okay? And I'll tackle them again later. At a later date. That one had a boring death. And then Korra versus Storm had a pretty good death, in my opinion. And then this one also had a pretty good death. Madara basically throws the black balls at... That sounds wrong. At Aizen, and each of them take off a piece, and then one of them turns into a staff and basically just destroys his head. And then Madara says his line at the end. I think it was like, "What a wonderful dance." That sounded British and that came out wrong. But yeah, overall, I really didn't talk about this episode much. I do like the fight between Madara's Limbo clones and Aizen's giant energy dragons, and the summoning of the perfect Susanoo was pretty cool as well. Although Aizen's black coffin kind of did nothing, when that's like, I'm most likely wrong, but I think that's like his big, like his one big move that everyone knows him for. Anyway, solid episode. I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe even an 8, but I can't be too sure. It just didn't do it for me as much as the 1 minute melee did. But then again, like, you can't really top, like, the 1 minute melee. That was a godlike episode. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I can't wait to discuss the result of Popeye versus, or just to review Popeye versus Saitama, because I am really happy about this. And, I can't wait to see what Season 9 has in store for us. I really hope it's not the last season. Doubt it's the last season, but it could be, you never know. So, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with basically everyone you know. Hit that notification bell just so you don't miss a video. Follow me on Twitter if you want. You don't have to, but it'd be appreciated. I'm trying to hit like 300 followers by the end of the year. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in like 2 weeks. Maybe even earlier. But don't count on that.